So Jeremy Corbyn is going to ask a legitimate question about the legality of the actions carried out by Donald Trump in his attack on the Iranian general. So let's hear what Boris Johnson had to say in response.
Assassination of General Soleimani. What evidence has the Prime Minister got to suggest that this attack on him and his death was not an illegal act by the United States?
Well, Mr. Speaker, clearly the strict issue of legality is not for the UK to determine, since it was...
Why is it not an issue for the UK to determine? Is the UK not part of the international community? If another country, for example Iran, carried out an illegal activity or an attack, would the UK not be right to have an opinion on that?
It was not our operation, but I think that most reasonable people would accept that the United States has a right to protect its bases and its personnel.
But this was not an attack on this individual to defend bases. It actually turned out that this general was on a peace mission to build up trust with Saudi Arabia in order to reduce tensions in the area.
And I would remind the House that the individual concerned, Qasem Soleimani, was not only responsible for many years, amongst other things, arming the Houthis with missiles with which they attacked innocent civilians.
Saudi Arabia?
Arming Hezbollah with missiles which again they used to attack innocent civilians, sustaining the Assad
Saudi Arabia?
regime in Syria, one of the most brutal and barbaric regimes in the world, and of course supplying improvised explosive devices to terrorists who, I'm afraid, killed and maimed British troops.
Saudi Arabia. Now you're probably wondering, why am I repeating Saudi Arabia here? Saudi Arabia has done everything that Boris Johnson has said, not to the groups he's talking about, but to Sunni militia groups in Syria, in Iraq. This is, and who has also been supplying weapons to the Saudi government? The British government, the Brits. Britain has been sending and selling weapons to Saudi Arabia for decades. And now that the Iranians are doing what the Saudis have been doing for decades, it's a problem.
That man had the blood of British troops on his hands.
But you don't care about the blood of Iraqis or Syrians or Yemenis. You don't have a problem with those people dying, and you're very happy to sell weapons to Saudi Arabia, who are giving these weapons and providing training to militia groups in Iraq, in Syria, and in Yemen. Boris Johnson can't claim the moral high ground here, and neither can the United States.